It is now my pleasure to introduce to you Max Wood, President of the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation. Max?
Thank you, President Jack. I feel like I should say a little prayer here, like an astronaut did one time. Oh, Lord, please don't let me screw this up. The Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation Board is proud of our accomplishments since we met last year. We've had some administrative challenges. We are on track to do some great things for Canadian Optimist members and Canadian kids. We've been fortunate to be able to set up 2 endowments for over $1.4 million. These endowments will secure funding for our scholarships, thank you, as well as the childhood cancer campaign on an ongoing basis. But the work isn't done. We need more funds to grow our endowments and to provide the ongoing funding for the things that we are doing today, and this is where you can help. Today we are recognizing 2 individuals for the support of the foundation. President-elect Jean-Claude Sarange and Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation board member Dwayne Kelly are receiving their bronze benefactor pins for $15,000 worth of lifetime contributions. These pins will be presented by Don McDonald, our platinum benefactor. Thank you. While commitment of money is very important to our Optimist organization, so too is the commitment of time. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a member of the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation Board of Directors and past president of the foundation, Monsieur Benoit Paré. That was supposed to say that part. I'm sorry. Benoit will be completing a 5-year term as a member of the board, and I really want to thank you for that time you spent with us. Thank you.
I wish to thank my fellow members of the for 5 years of great achievement, and thanks all the Canadian donors who have helped us set new milestones at the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation. Je veux exprimer toute ma gratitude à mes collègues du conseil d'administration pour 5 années ponctuées de réalisations extraordinaires. Je veux également remercier tous les donateurs canadiens qui nous ont aidés à fixer de nouveaux jalons pour la Fondation Optimiste des enfants canadiens. It is my honor to present the Christian D. Larson plaque to our latest partner. J'ai maintenant l'honneur de présenter la plaque de Christian D. Larson à notre plus récent associé, en la personne de Michael R. Wood.
Thank you, Benoit. Donations from our members are the backbone of our foundation. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for your donations. Personal recognitions for Dime a Day, Century Circle, President's Club, Friend of the Day, Christian D. Larson, William H. Harrison, along with corporate executive clubs, are important to our organization. So where does your money go? Besides sponsoring essay, oratorical, and communication contests for the deaf and hard of hearing, the funds are used to sponsor Joy, including a scholarship for each Canadian Joy past president. A large portion of the funds are held in trust for the Childhood Cancer Campaign grants and club outsourcing programs. Here's an example of a great outsourcing program. The University of Montreal Optimist Club has raised more than $200,000 over the past 2 years. This club, made up of student members, has set up tutoring programs for underprivileged youth. During the school year, undergrad students in the education program offer mentoring to these young people, and during the summer months, students in the physical education department offer their help and support with the sports program. This is a win-win situation for all. Deprived youth are given help in their life, students acquire experience, and the foundation helps the clubs develop financial support to conduct these activities. The purposes of our organization define us, and the results described previously have been realized because of your commitment in fundraising for these important causes. You know and believe them, or you would not be here today. These purposes have been our strength for the past 100 years, and I am sure that they will be our strength for the next 100 years. But what I would like to talk to you about today is the future. History teaches us that many great organizations, like great civilizations, fell when they failed to understand and prepare for the future, when the course they chose was inconsistent with the reality of today, where the need to change was in conflict with the comfort of apathy. 10 years ago, following my year as governor of the Southwestern Ontario District, I and other past governors of our region continued discussions concerning the long-term sustainability of our great organization. It was during this time that we became aware that there was a valuable tool that was being, in our opinion, underutilized. That tool or resource was the foundation. Because without it, the long-term sustainability of our programs, our scholarships, and indeed our entire Optimist International organization would fail. Perhaps it was because of my continual interest in the Canadian Foundation that 5 years later I was asked to sit on the board of directors and put in place the suggestions that had been made. I accepted that challenge, and that is why I am here today. We recognize the realities of today, and we are striving to do more. It is the plan that over the next year we will focus on increasing the number of executive club donors as well as obtaining large corporate donations. This will help us in reaching our minimum goals of $3 million for scholarships endowments and $1 million for the Childhood Cancer Campaign endowment. One of the best ways to prepare for the future is to establish endowments for the programs and scholarships that we will be needing in the future. This is a way of investing your money so that the capital remains and we learn to live on the return or interest that is generated. This is what a lot of your retirement pension plans have been doing, or in some cases should have been doing, with your money for over the last few years. We hold approximately $1.8 million under investment, of which $1.4 million is in the form of endowments. And I am pleased to tell you that despite the current economic climate where banks and investments have offered 1% to 3% growth, we have achieved an average annual growth of 4.4%. We are still a long way from full funding of all the scholarships and matching grants, but we have a good start towards our goal. For the future of Optimist International, I like to refer to the endowments as our perpetual payout plan that gives us continuity without cost. Nell Eddington, an author and consultant for not-for-profit and charitable organizations, recently wrote, "It may seem more effective to have all your gifts go to support direct services, but actually, those services will be stronger and more sustainable if there is a healthy, effective organization behind them. That means our organization needs a capable and well-trained and well-paid staff, a sustainable revenue engine, equipment, systems, and space, and efficient technology. Occasionally, you might think about supporting these infrastructure items so that the program gifts can go even further. And your foundation board of directors have been thinking and working towards doing just that, so as to provide for the future of Canadian Optimist clubs and programs and the foundations that support them. It may surprise you to learn that the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation has only one paid employee. The rest of us are all unpaid volunteers. And while some of the work is done by the support staff of Optimist International in the Montreal office, It is done without compensation from the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation. It's done because they realize the important role the foundation plays in our organization. With new regulations and laws being enacted by the federal government, with increased demands being placed upon the board and staff of both Optimist International and the foundation, there has been little opportunity for us to create an effective support system for the foundation with current financial resources. But having said this, we are also developing a plan that we hope will address this issue. A plan that will provide for enhanced delivery of the services and programs that Optimists need. A plan that will allow us to move outside of the general Optimist membership by providing the resources needed to market and promote ourselves in a professional manner without affecting the monies that were donated for specific purposes. We are working on a foundation ambassador program that will allow us to do this and hope to be able to officially announce the details of this program soon. These are but a couple of the ideas being considered by your Canadian Foundation Board. How, when, or if others are implemented are being considered, and we will try our best to keep you informed. It is, after all, your foundation, and we need your support, as one of our founding principles has always been, helping optimists help kids. Stop around to our booth near the House of Optimism just outside these doors so we can thank you in person. The board and the staff will be happy to answer any questions you may have about our plans and our programs. And on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to speak today. And more importantly, I want to thank you for your past support and for taking the time to consider the future. Thank you. I'm now going to drive the teleprompters nuts. I'm going to ad-lib. In June of 2011, we were conducting DFR training in Gatineau, Quebec. That's just across the river from Ottawa, in case you want to find it on a map. And one of our DFRs came to me and said, so the president-elect is coming? I said, yes. He said, how will I know him? I said, it's very easy. He normally always wears a blue jacket, a blue shirt with a white collar, and a distinctive yellow tie. You'll know him when you see him. Don't worry about it. Sure enough, true to form, our president, Jack Cresswell, showed up wearing a yellow tie. The result was, it became such a landmark decision to note that he had this yellow tie that we asked him if he would raffle it off or auction it off, and he did. And since that, it has started a process. So to a man who has given of himself 100% of his time, his efforts, just about everything, including the shirt off his back, but fortunately we allowed him to keep that. But we did take his tie. He gave 100% and then some. We'd like to give something back. So if I could ask President Jack Cresswell to come forward. That's pretty sneaky.
I was standing back here wondering how I get a yellow tie quick.
Some of you may have noticed that there's ties for sale out there, but we didn't want Jack to ever run short of ties, but if he ran out of yellow ones, we thought at the very least, since we started this thing for him, he could wear at least a foundation tie. So I'd like to present you with our Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation tie. Wear it proudly.
Max, thank you so much. For your sincerity and love, my friend. We walk together.
And just so his wife Sue is not left out of the picture, we want her to look matching. I have a scarf for her as well.
You got the kiss on that one.
Thank you.